Okay, so today I'm going to be giving a speech on what you need to do when buying a new home. There are 3 main steps that you need to make sure you take. You need to be prepared before you purchase the home. You need to know what mortgage to select and the actual purchase of the home. You need to make sure you do that correctly. Do you see yourself buying a home in the next year? Maybe, maybe not. Most people purchase their first home at the age of 32. And I have chose this topic because majority of people in society take this step at least once in their life, maybe even more, but mostly once or twice. And what I'm going to be talking about today are just some tips and tricks that you need to know whenever you purchase your home. Because buying a home can be so stressful. I personally know that from what my parents have been through whenever they have purchased their homes. And it's just better to know what you need to do and what you don't need to do when buying a home, and it can just take some of that stress away. Okay, so the first thing you need to make sure you do whenever you're purchasing a home is to be prepared. You need to make sure that you find your budget and stick to it, and you need to make sure you save. Saving up for your down payment, your closing costs, your moving expenses, furniture, any renovation that you would maybe need to do to the house, because maybe it's a fixer-upper. Maybe it's the only thing you had in your budget at the time and you're saving up to make your renovations. You need to check your credit to make sure that you can be approved for a mortgage, because that is the main step that a lot of people don't know. And with preparing yourself to buy your home, you will also need to make sure that you have a credit score that is qualified for a mortgage. If you cannot get approved for a home loan, then that stops the whole process. Because if you have a bad credit and you can't get approved for a mortgage, then there's no point in even looking for a home. And you need to be sure you choose the best mortgage type that fits you and your needs. Do you know the ballpark of where your credit is? Many adults can't actually answer this question, because that is, like I said, like one of the main parts of buying a home is to know your credit score and to see if you can even get approved for a mortgage for a house. When knowing your credit score, if it's not well, then in the next, 6 months to a year, you can use that time to strengthen your credit and then be able to take out a mortgage for a house. And when doing that, there are many, many options for taking out a mortgage, such as there's conventional mortgages, FHA loans, USDA loans, and VA loans. And the VA loans are actually only for veterans. And after you research your options, you need to compare the rates, see which one's the lowest, or maybe one's lower and you don't want to take that one. So you just need to compare your options, see what best fits you. And you also need to consider the fees, when actually taking out the mortgage, because, you're obviously going to have fees. And you need to consider how many years you want to take out your mortgage for, because most people take it out at a 30-year mortgage. But in some cases, you can take out others, and another one is you can take out 15 years, but your payments are going to be a little higher, but you would save a little money on interest in the long run. But it's just whatever you can afford. Maybe you can only afford the lower payment, so you choose the 30-year mortgage, or maybe you want to do bigger payments and get it out of the way faster and not have to worry about the interest, so you choose the 15-year. You need to look at all these options to see what best fits you whenever you're purchasing your home. You want to be sure that you're doing everything with the home buying process correctly. You need to find a real estate agent that can help you the most and, best help with your needs and your wants and what you're looking for in a home, to make sure they're there to benefit you and not off the profit. You need to find a budget, stick to the budget, and because that's going to help you in the long run. You need to factor everything in, your down payment, your closing costs, your renovation needs, all your fees, what other things you might have to come into, like a home inspection. It's better to pay for a home inspection because, it may save you money in the long run, instead of getting, 6 months, a year down the road and finding something that could have been found in a home inspection, but you just wanted to skip that, that small price just to get into your home faster and not have to worry about it. But really, skipping a home inspection and spending that extra money may cause you a lot more money in the long run. And you want to make sure that you pick out the right home insurance, because not having home insurance could really be bad, just in case, something happened, a house fire, something tragic like that. And if you have that, it's, like that sense of security that if something happens, you're going to have a plan to fall back on just in case, it does. So, in conclusion, there are many options that you need to research before you actually purchase a home. And by researching these options, it can take a bunch of unnecessary stress out of your life. You're just stressing over everything whenever you could just do your research, find your options, explore your options, and see what best fits you. And if you remember nothing else from my speech, remember this: doing proper research and preparing yourself can save you time and money in the long run. Thank you.